First off, Maev is clearly number one. Like, it's not even close, I don't think, to Lich King. And the reason why is because it's a hero that's good early on, with the ability to selectively choose higher quality minions than everyone else, as well as being relevant later on to just like hero power cards that you wouldn't necessarily want to buy but are still useful. And then like third, the very very easy chance of getting triples. It's so easy to get them, and like usually you're getting high tier triples too, like Red Whelp, Rockpool Hunter, tokens. It's like you get early tempo, you get an early direction with your triple if you get a good enough one. And like usually you can push for a 5 or a 6, but sometimes you settle for a 4, and like you just use that tempo to power level up and find a direction. It's like, because the meta is also like Menagerie or Dragons are the best comps. Murlocs might be even close to with Maev. I haven't tried it yet though, but I could see laning Murlocs being good too if there's no Dragons. Just like that extra oomph with the hero power late game gives you such an edge over everyone else. Like being able to hero power useful minions. Lower the volume a little bit. Okay. And then I guess yeah, Fox asked me about the curves too. So the curve is usually something like this. It's like turn 1, you want a hero power. If you get a token in the Swabby, you like buy the token Swabby, you sell it, and then you hero power. On 4 gold, you'll want to usually like buy hero power, but sometimes with Swabby, you just level up hero power. Sometimes the shop is like god awful, like no pairs and a bunch of bad cards. You just level up and just take like 2 L's and recoup the following turn. Like don't feel pressured to take bad minions. That's like, I think in this meta, having to take bad minions is a lot more punishing than before because the game's going longer. So like poor decisions you make early on will snowball a lot harder. Like I think that's one thing with the meta I've noticed. It's like it's more skill testing there and knowing what early minions you have to take and what ones you have to avoid, and having like the courage to level up when you know those criteria aren't met. So then turn 4, you know, it's either level up or you hero power buy, and 5 gold, it's the same, right? Although sometimes you like roll buy hero power, sometimes you roll hero power level up. Like if you get a pair already, you should probably level up instead of buy and try to push a 4. And then yeah, you know, it's like depending where you are, you're just like trying to use the hero power as much as you can, unless it doesn't make sense to. Like if there's a shop with 2 good minions, you should probably just buy them and not hero power, just because you know you don't want to fall too far behind at that point, like turn 4 or 5 above. But when it makes sense to, like if you have 3 golds and you don't really want to buy the minions in the shop, you should roll in hero power. Yeah, and then I guess that's about it. Like in most of the cases I've played Maev, you are getting a strong start and a triple most times. If you don't, you're still like ahead of the curve because of your hero power. It's just recovering from that is a little bit harder though. It's like you still have to find a direction like every other hero, and like hero powering pairs later on can be a little bit punishing because you can get baited into like being a little bit too greedy with hero powers mid game for pairs and like freezing for triples, but getting them 2 turns later and dying. Like I haven't quite figured that part out of the Maev game plan. When you don't get like even a medium start, like how do you recover from that? Anyways, I think that's good enough for now. Rambled enough. Then second, I haven't played Lich King enough. It feels like it's either Lich King is second, or I'm gonna be bold here. I'm gonna say Millhouse. It's either Lich King or Millhouse here. I think Millhouse, when played at a top tier level, it is either second or third. And then I'm gonna say Reform is 4th. And I'm gonna say that's my top 4 right now. I'm gonna look through the heroes to make sure I didn't miss anything though. Yeah. Hey, Dr. Lazy Eyes. Thanks. Yeah, there were some good games too leading up to that. Anyways. So then I think other considerations here as well as like to why they're so high is because Lich King is obviously like strong because it's 0 mana hero power. It's like combat advantage and useful later on. The only issue is like Lich King. I hesitate to say Lich King is 2nd because it doesn't really help you get into a late game comp though. It's like the other heroes, they're either good at like tripling or they're really good at they're either good at tripling or like really good at abusing their hero power to create unfair advantages. It's like with Reform, it's like getting early spawns and like early pairs. With Millhouse, it's just like getting such cheap minions and setting up to abuse the hero power is incredibly powerful. Like if you can set it up to where you can buy a lot of minions and benefit from that on your board, it's busted. Like that's very obvious. Like whenever you have Bran or Hogger or Caligos. But you don't even need those. You can just have like crowd favorite, Rabid Sorlisk, and like good Menagerie minions, and just buy random battle cries without any of those other 3 cards. You can still top 3 very consistently with that. But yeah, I'm gonna make a stance here. I think it's like the 3rd best hero. And then for 4th, I think in this tier, Nas definitely has to be here. I think Bran is here too. I'm not sure what ordering yet. Like I said, I think Bran is still unexplored, but I think it really is like a top 5 hero. And I'm talking about the current meta too. I think heroes like Edwin and heroes like KT and Daryl, they're still good, but they're not like god tier. I know Daryl needs to go here. I'm not like the best player at Daryl, so I probably rate it lower than other people do. But it's still A tier for sure for me. Do you think it's better to go wide so they don't position well with Reform? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Okay. So let's see, what else is clearly up here? I think Yogg is still tier 1. I think KT is still tier 1, it's just like, it's just worse. Or tier S and tier A. I think Skycam Crag is probably somewhere here too. Lich Bazil, I think I'd probably rate Lich Bazil maybe higher than Skycam, but I think these 2 are pretty good. Like I'm just trying to think of things that are like really busted right now. I think Lich is good now, but it might change. This might go down if people start playing like more optimally and games go on shorter. This ranking applies to the top level play. I'm not gonna like give a general tier list. If you want to see a general tier list, you just go on Ace Replay and you see their tier list. But I'm talking at the highest level of play, or at least from my experience too. Like from my experience playing this stuff, I think at a higher tier of play, Daryl's probably like higher too, and Brand's probably higher. But I'm just talking like from what I've seen and how I play. I mean, let's just get like the good heroes and we'll try to figure out the ordering at some point. So Edwin is still good, I think. It's not amazing. Flurgle is good now. Deathwing is still good. Reno is good too. I haven't played enough of him, but I'm sure he's quite good. I don't know where these go though. And I don't know how to rate Finley. Finley's just like, it's just a random. I'm gonna put that later. It's like somewhere high mid. I just don't know where. It's hard to evaluate. I guess I'll just start by putting in the garbage heroes too. Let me do that so I free up some space here. This doesn't exist. I'll just put it here. It's not actually like in the game anymore. These are the garbage heroes that I think, at least. Okay. This, I hesitate to say this is like unplayable. Like some of these aren't unplayable. These are not unplayable. These I think are pretty much unplayable though. Like this in agreed meta, might be better, but like I haven't had a chance to pick it yet. Maui is salvageable. AFK is salvageable. Patches, I think, from like a high tier, you probably shouldn't pick it, but maybe it's better than some of these other heroes. Monkey, I haven't played it very much. It could very well be here. I'll put it here so I don't offend some people. Tess, I'm not so sure. Tess might be D tier. Tess seems like it's alright. It's not terrible. And like in agreed meta, it actually does get to shine because sometimes you get lucky and hit like Cali Ghost or Bran off it. Okay, and then these other things are like, they're salvageable. I just have to figure out where they are. So this I think is cemented for me. These are the top 4 heroes. These are definitely the A tier heroes. I don't know if anything else goes here as well. Maybe Deathwing, but like you just have to play greedy with Deathwing and level up on 5 more. I'll put it up here. I think like it's still pretty good. Yeah, I think it's probably something like, I think the ordering something like this. Yeah, let's say it's this. I think Nas is better than Yogg in agreed meta, but they could be closer. And I think that KT is somewhere in the middle too. It's like it doesn't help you get direction, but the hero power like not having to do anything for it is really nice. Okay, let's continue on to the B tier then. I think I'm okay with this ordering here. B tier, Skycam, Crag. Maybe it's like this. I think I like Reno more actually. I think Flirtgirl's somewhere in the middle as well. It definitely got a buff for me. I think Edwin could be closer too, but I don't know. It's like Edwin's kind of hard because if you don't get the good minions to buff up, you suffer a lot in this meta. It's like you don't want to be wasting your hero power on bad minions. So it's like if you don't get a good minion to buff up, it's not like you don't have a hero power. Pyramad's probably like B tier too, I think. Alexstrasza is B tier as well. Cat is B tier. I'll say this is A tier, I guess, because you can get these heroes sometimes. I don't know. It's like somewhere here. And then I think Toki. Oh, Ysera and Toki are B tier for sure. So I want to say with Ysera, I like that hero a lot. I'll show my stats. It's like, it's not intensive or anything, but this is what I played with Ysera. I played 6 games with Ysera. I have like a 2.83 average stat. I get like 1st or 2nd a lot of the time. And I got like a 4th and a 7th. I think it's like just being able to reliably get early dragons and triple very early on is so powerful right now. If you either hit Caligos and Dina, it feels like you just win the game. If you don't, well, at least it's something that gives you direction, right? But yeah, I might rank it more. I'm gonna experiment with it more when I play on EU. Yeah. KT, yeah, I don't know. I haven't played much KT lately. And I don't even know if I can filter it through latest games I've played. Like, this is just all the games that I've played. And I guess you guys are curious here too. This is like my climb. I wasn't subbed to their premium service like the whole time, so there's like a big chunk missing. Yeah, I only resubbed like 16 days ago. So this has been my climb though for the past 2 weeks. I was at like 13.9, and then it's just been like a pretty steady climb to 15k. A bit of a downer here, right? Like I was. Oh, I guess I've always been like 14k, huh? Like ever since the resubbed, like pretty much always 14k. Just like a few dips below. And then once the patch came out, that was what? How long ago was the patch, guys? Has it even been a week? It's been like 4 days, right? 4 or 5 days. Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's like, yeah. The climb has been very consistent since the patch. Anyways, let's go back to the tier list here. And then, you guys have any questions here? How do you play the Ysera curve? I mean, it's just you buy a dragon or you buy a token on turn 1. And then on turn 5, you buy a dragon usually, unless it's like a 2/3 lieutenant, the one that you get from the hero power. You buy something else, and then you just like keep buying the high tier minions from the hero power. So I think the 2/3 is the only one that I don't like buying, but red whelps are great, glyph guardians are okay, the 3/4s are great, then they only go like up from there. And you just like keep in mind that it's very easy for you to get a triple on the start of your turn, and that works out perfectly for discovering 5s and 6s. And like once you hit the 5 or 6, then you figure out what you do from there. But yeah, I don't know, Ysera might be better than Alexstrasza. I still don't like Alexstrasza that much. I think it might be something like this. I think Ysera and Flurgle are close in power level. I think it's like better than Alexstrasza because Alex is like super inconsistent. I think Cat is more consistent than Alexstrasza, honestly. And I think Pyramid might be better with demons now. Might even be better with Murlocs too. I don't know. But I think Pyramid's like a top 4 hero if you don't hit Murlocs. Or if you don't hit the nuts on demons, like early Floating Watcher. I haven't played enough with Reno. I might move Reno up, but I've played like 2 or 3 games this since the patch. Feels pretty good though. Okay, let's go to C tier then. Like heroes that I don't hate picking, but like I don't really want to pick. Now talk about these heroes too. This is D tier. This is D tier. I need to play more George, but I think it's D tier too. So this is my C tier. Hey Team America, thanks for the raid. Welcome guys. I hope you had a good stream of Rena too. Or BG if you're back to that. But yeah, so my C tier is this. Drax is still okay. It's really hit or miss though, and I don't think I'm playing it right. But I think the turn one I'm not sure about, right? Like, or the tier 1 strategy, like what are the odds that you hit the demon stuff, and should you roll on tier 1 to try to fill up your board with the tier 1 demons? I don't really do that too much. Like if I don't hit a demon on the first 2 turns, I just don't buy them. And then once I'm 5 golds, I like either buy 2 or I roll to try to hit a demon so I can hero power it. I like roll a little bit on tier 2, but I don't roll too much. And then if by like tier 3 I don't have any demons, I don't know what to do. Like, do you still go for it, or do you just give up on the demon dream and just say, okay, this game I didn't have a hero power, so I'm gonna do something else. Curator, I think Curator is really good now. It might be the best CT hero, I think. But again, the issue is that I'm having is sometimes I need to be selling the amalgam, and I don't. But it's like, it feels so good when you do get a menagerie comp. Like, if you get the early brand, you already have an amazing minion to buff up. You save time there. If you get Caligos, it's like you got an early Amalgadon, right? Like, it's insane to have that. It's such a big edge. And just in general, like, if you get enough early buffs and you slap like a module on it, it's just a good start. But there's some games where you don't get the early buffs on it, and I think you need to sell it. But I've had a hard time, you know, separating with my baby, my day 1 baby. Hey Othello, thanks. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna say Curator is top of C tier. I'm gonna say like Shutterwalk or Patches is probably like second here. I think I like Shutterwalk a little bit more now that Menage is a little bit better. And just like how I've played it is it feels better because you can use the hero power a lot, right? Like with the Jug and Mug changes, whenever you get those cards, it's usually good to hero power them. It's good to hero power if you have like 4 gold and you just want to like buy a Swabby or something and you don't want to buy anything else, to hero power that to like not waste gold. It still has triple potential with Khadgar and tokens. Like if you get a token early on, you always have a triple with a second token. If you get Khadgar, any triple is a token early on. It just feels good, but I haven't played it enough. Yeah, I don't know if I can describe Millhouse games right now. I feel like I'm kind of tired now too, so I don't want to. I'll probably finish this tier list and end the stream, but you should just watch the stream and see how I play Millhouse. I actually have a YouTube channel too. You can watch. The latest video there is a Millhouse game. You can watch that and see what I do. Like, I'll give you a warning though. Like, I definitely don't play Millhouse games like close to optimally. But I think I still play it pretty well, you know. Confident enough to rank it S tier. I still need to work the kinks out on that. Just like mechanic wise. Anyways, where was I? So then Shutterwalk patches. I think patches is good. Like if you do get pirates early on, it's pretty great. It's like the only hero where you can make pirates work consistently. Like getting Salty Looter is amazing. You should buy those. Like getting Sassy Captains are great because you actually can guarantee pirates. And like once you get Hogger and like Salty Looter, you're like Monka Steer, you know, and like you just gotta go. And before when the Murloc transition was still in the game, the way I'd play it is if I do get a state to where I'm infinite money, I just like transition once I have like a good mid-range board of Salty Looter, Hogger, and like other stuff, and then I transition to Murlocs once I can. You can't do that anymore, but it's still like you can do something else though. It's like you can have the huge minions like Salty Looter, Amalgadon, like the Hoggers maybe, and then you just like buy Myexna, Selfless Hero, and like poison Murlocs, and you can do that as your endgame comp, or just win with raw stats like Eliza. It's like situational, depends on who's in the lobby. But I don't know, it feels consistent when you get it, but it's just you're not always consistently getting early pirates. Yeah, and then talked about Draxus, talked about Shutterwalk. Elise, I've always been a fan of Elise. I didn't play it too much in the last patch, but I'll show you my Elise record here. It's like kind of middling. It's like, you know, an average of 4, but it's like if you look at my stats, right, like 25% 8th place, sure, but then first place like 18%, second place 31. It just feels like you can greed, and like if you get the early direction, you can supplement it with your maps. It's like very consistent. You get the direction that you want. It's just if that's enough. If that's enough is another question. A lot of times it's not enough, but if the meta is slower, it feels better. Especially if you get to use your hero power on a tier 6 minion. I love doing that, and doing it early if I know I'm strong. Then Rat King I think is C tier just because like it's a passive hero power, like kind of fits with Menagerie, but like you don't have to play around the hero power too much. It could just be to save you some life and maybe buff up some more important minions. It doesn't feel great though. But like I think it's actually better than the Maleficent right now, because like the games are going longer. Mechs don't necessarily get you top 4 that consistently, and sometimes you just never see the mechs that you need to see, and then you just die because you didn't get Deflecto, you didn't get Annoy Module. Like maybe you spend some time rolling, try to get them, you don't hit them, you can get like baited by the hero power there. I don't think it's that good because it's less flexible. Like the Rat King one is a little more flexible, and it can lean you towards a winning comp more. Yeah, and then D tier, I guess, I don't know. The D tier is just there's not that much to talk about, but like they're just okay heroes. They don't do anything too strong, but like sometimes they can high roll. Like Maui Ghost with Token Star can high roll. AFK with good 3-drops like Bronze Warden, Hangry Dragon can snowball. This one with like early mechs, early Bronze Warden, early Hydra can do it. This one can be good if you just get lucky with your opponents, but it's just so inconsistent. Like sometimes you just hero powering is worse than rolling. Syndra Ghost is like you can high roll the early minions too, but you don't have a hero power after like turn 5 because if you play optimally, you should be freezing like very, very little, right? Because freezing inherently is bad. It's a waste of gold. Like you should just try to seek to buy things when you can, or just like take things at the end of your turn that are okay or like make sense economically. And then George, I don't know. George is just George. I don't know. It might be better with like Poison Murlocs now because no one else can do Poison Murlocs. But again, it's like you don't really have a hero power until later on in the game. Or if you tempo hero power, it's like it's kind of like not using gold too well. But yeah, I might need to play mechs more. I did have a mech game earlier today where I had two senseis and deflector really early on, and I won with that, but it's like I haven't had success with just staying tier 4, buying like deflecto Bolvar, like 3/6 dragon and leapers. It hasn't been very good. I guess yeah, this is probably my tier list then. What do you guys think? I'll let you guys have some questions here, and then I think I'll probably end the stream after I'm done with this. Yeah, it's not updated yet. I'll update it after I finish this. Yeah, I can explain Rafam. So, I think Rafam is really good because of the gold efficient hero power, right? Like instead of rolling your 1 gold away, you can hero power. Sometimes you get good minions, most times like you don't, but it fills up your gold nicely, and you can bank minions in hand to use your gold on like better tiers or when it's worth it. And then the triple potential, right? Like you're buying minions early on that you're likely to steal, and you can get triple potential on that. You're stealing early spawns, so sometimes you get to skip the early mid game. It just feels really solid to me because like it's very likely to get a direction because of the triple potential with the hero powers. And then like just being a relevant hero power later on is great too. Like it has all the things for success, I think. Like early tempo hero power, potential for early pairs and early triples, and then like a relevant hero power later on in the game. Okay, I'll move Bartenatron to D. Fine. I can move Patches to D too, I think, but everything else I think is kind of unplayable. I don't think Togwoggle is good because it's like you don't really want to use your hero power early on too much, and it's like if you do manage to get the Menagerie comp, then good, you have a great hero power. But otherwise, it's like it's not that good. It's like Menagerie is kind of hard to come upon. Like you have to find specific minions that you want to buff up early enough. You usually need to find Bran or Lightfang. If you don't, I guess you can kind of, overcome that with your hero power. But I think heroes like Edwin do that much better. And hey, Endizo, thanks for the raid. Hope you had a good stream today. Yeah, I should remove Lady Vosh. Just put it. Alright, I don't know how to delete it. It's just gonna be there. It's just I don't know. I can't get rid of it. I'm not gonna like reset it here. It's fine. You think Crag is better than Lich King? Lich Queen? Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking from like a highly optimized standpoint. Like, if people play Lich Bazil the best, then I think she's more powerful because she's a lot more flexible with her hero power. the sky cam it's good and it's useful, but like it's not nearly as good at every stage of the game. It's like one big power spike. Lich Bazil is like strong every stage of the game. It's like if you can properly risk assess at every stage of the game with that hero, with Lich Bazil, that's so important, that hero, right? Like risk assessment is not something you normally have to do too much with the other heroes, but with Lich Bazil, if you mess up, if you make any small errors, sometimes you just turn like a top 2 game to a top 8. But yeah, this hero can dud too, right? Like if you don't get the early triples and if you get a weak early game, it can fail. But I think it doesn't happen that often, and it's still it's still a good minion. It's still a good hero because you can get good minions off the hero power. It's like people kind of hate on Rafam, like in game they like feed him bad minions, but I don't know. If you're playing like optimally, I don't think you should be trying to do that. You should just be trying to like play for yourself and just play for the best combat positioning and not the anti-Rafam positioning. Unless you're like a top 2 hero, I don't think you should. Yeah, you should do that. And the cat's that high because if you play the cat well and you have like a good mid-range build, you start snowballing super hard when people die, and you usually land top 2. Let me show you guys my stats with the cat. So Mr. Bigglesworth, I have a 3.43 average. I'm still minus MMR on it, but it's probably because of the top 8s. Like look at my first placement, like it's 57%. I guess I don't think this is actually properly updated. It's not tracking some of the other stats. I've definitely gotten second on it like very recently, so I don't know what's up with this. Maybe it was with the Finley. Well, it's like it has a very high first place percentage, and I don't know, if you play like really well on average, like your lobbies aren't gonna be like, not everyone's playing very well, so people like die when they shouldn't be, and like yeah, you just you get there. But like if your lobby is, if say theoretically your lobby is everyone who's playing optimally, I don't think Mr. Bigglesworth would be that good, but it's just not the case, you know. We're all humans. No one's playing, you know, close to the top tier level. But yeah, I feel like I'm pretty tired, honestly. I need to catch up on sleep from the past 2 weeks. I've gone too hard. I'll update my tier list command, and I'll post this on Twitter, I guess. And I don't know, if you guys want to discuss it even more, just go to my Discord and ping me, or just type it in the chat, and we can talk about it more. But yeah, I want to thank all of you though for tuning in for this very what's the word? I don't know, this day of number 1. I couldn't think of the adjective. We hit number 1, we hit 15k. We can say in 6 of those words, we're not a meme streamer anymore. Although I don't know too much about that inside joke. It could I see the fun in it, but like not everyone can. People could take it the wrong way. But yeah, thank you all for tuning to the number 1 stream, and for the discussion later on. I'll spend like the next few days like just recovering a little bit and seeing, you know, where we want to take the future of this stream and the content creation. Yeah, like give me any suggestions too if like you want to see other content, because I think I probably won't play on this account for a little bit unless Champion takes back number 1. But I could see myself playing on it anyways, just to like, you know, just to push the limits even harder. Like we don't have to stop just because we're number 1. We can go for higher ranks. But yeah, that's enough for me. I'm rambling. I'm too tired to talk coherently. I'm gonna find someone else to host. Yeah, so I have to leave so soon after your raid, Endo. Yeah, I guess we'll just host Hoppa Bear again. Alright, see you guys later. Take care.
Just adore me, just throw it up. All your doubts and fears.